It's been a year and a half since a young woman's body was pulled from Seattle's Green Lake, and her family is still struggling to understand what exactly happened on that summer day on a busy Friday afternoon in one of Seattle's most popular parks. Was it murder or was it suicide? KIRO 7's Shen Kim spoke with the woman's family.
It's a place that once brought peace.
It's really hard. I thought I had more time.
But now all Janine Staley feels is pain at Green Lake.
911, what is your emergency? And there is a body in Green Lake.
It's where the body of her sister, Autumn Stone, was found floating near Duck Island, about 20 yards from the shore on August 30th, 2019.
Who knows how long she was even out there.
I met Janine 1 year ago before the pandemic. It was her first time back since her sister's death.
Doesn't make any sense.
And now, speaking with me on FaceTime, her pain is just as fresh.
I was always very protective of her, so it just absolutely kills me that she's not here.
Autumn was just 23 years old, a mother of two, a toddler and a newborn.
It's devastating. She was my best friend.
She had a white shoelace wrapped around her neck.
The Seattle police officer who responded says when he found Autumn's body, the vest was zipped up fully, covering her neck. Then he and a firefighter forced open the zipper and saw what appeared to be shoelaces wrapped around her neck several times. She had all her clothes on except for her shoes, which were found without the laces, tossed aside in the bushes near where she was pulled to the shore.
I just want justice for my daughter. I want her to rest in peace. I want us to be able to have the answers that we need.
The medical examiner concluded that Autumn died of asphyxia due to ligature applied around the neck. In other words, she was strangled to death. But the ME couldn't figure out who did it and left the manner of death as undetermined. Meanwhile, SPD closed the case as a suicide just 2 weeks later.
That was shocking to me. I felt like they just didn't care what happened to her. It just didn't matter.
The morning of her death, Autumn wrote this letter, which the detective believed to be a suicide note. The family rejects that.
I see my daughter thanking God for her children. It's essentially a prayer.
They're adamant that Autumn, a woman of faith, would never take her own life.
She loved those boys. She would not have left this world and left them without a mom.
Autumn was going through a lot. She had just given birth to her second son and had just broken up with her fiancé, who she suspected of hurting their child. Autumn's friend was one of the last people to speak to her that day.
She told me that she was going to get answers as to what happened to the baby that day. And when she said that day to me, she stressed today.
The autopsy reports shows she had sperm in her body, which was never tested.
They didn't run any DNA. She's got DNA on her person. Who is that? That's going to help us find who she was with.
Only recently was that glass slide sent in thanks to pressure from the family and private investigator Brent Campbell.
We're driven by something different. SPD is driven by closing cases. We're driven by finding the truth, getting justice for Autumn. That's what we really need.
He's reached out to numerous experts. One of them is forensic investigator Jennifer Shen, the former director for the San Diego Police Department Crime Lab.
No one has been able to explain to me how it was she could kill herself like this. How could she strangle herself and wind up in the lake as she did, with the shoelaces around her neck and the jacket zipped up, and move her body into the lake and be found there?
SPD reopened the case months later.
Her shoes were found over here.
But Autumn's father is disappointed with how it's handled the investigation.
I don't know that anything's actually happening. They give us lip service and tell us that they're actively working on the case, but that's as far as it goes.
And a year and a half in, they feel like they're racing against the clock and people's dwindling memories of that warm summer day.
People who were at Green Lake that day, August 30th, 2019, check your phones, check your videos, check your memories, see if you can find anything.
They're hoping their long-awaited answers will come soon. While the pain will always be there, perhaps they can find some peace in the truth. Shen Kim, KIRO 7 News.